Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your Sunday Soul Search message. This is going to be a general collective reading. It will also be timeless. So whenever you are guided to this particular video and the message happens to resonate, then it is your message. So again, this will be for all zodiacs. It will be a collective reading, and we're just going to look and see what our soul is prompting us to be aware of this coming week. Something maybe at a subconscious level that you're unaware of. So let's take a look at the astrological dice to see where the focus is. We'll also do an intuitive read on my soul card oracle deck, get a message from the Starseed Oracle, and then we'll pull some tarot. So let's see what the dice have to say. Where's the focus this week? So we have the North Node in Virgo in the 11th house. I do feel like that it is a time for many of us to step up and to be in service to others with this North Node in Virgo. In the 11th house, this speaks to our friendships, our groups, our associations, to humanity at large. How are we being at service to other than ourselves? That's why I feel like this is saying to us. Okay? North Node, Virgo, 11th house. Finding some type of purpose and directing your mission towards being of service, having routines in how you serve others. Not only routines, but being practical in that service, not enabling people in ways that are impractical. How are we looking to serve and be more beneficial to others in large groups, in our associations, in our friendships, and to humanity at large. So let's find out what soul card wants to accompany that. These are just artwork that I read intuitively. So let's see what soul card wants to come out to accompany that message. What is the message, Spirit? Thank you. So this is what the card looks like. I get that I do feel like this blue gives me very spiritual energy. I am hearing hermit, coming out of the hermit mode. This is like her coming out of the cocoon, emerging from the cocoon as a butterfly. I do feel like many people have gone through some type of dark night of the soul period where you have faced your demons, you have looked at your shadow aspects, you've been thrown into this hermit mode because of some karmic lessons. And how your life purpose you have not been on your life purpose in serving others, but looking at some of the selfish aspects of yourself and how those selfish shadow aspects have been projected out into those relationships that you formed, whether they be romantic or friendship or in your family, with co-workers, just in your community in general. I do feel like this card is a message, a prompt to now emerge from the shadows and to go out confidently and speak about the things that you have learned while you were in hermit mode, and to teach others. And that's how many of you will be of service to humanity at large. See what the Starseed Oracle has to say. What message wants to come out to accompany what we've already heard. What's the message? What is the message? What is the message? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Yeah, I do feel like there's an overall urge and pushing for us to be looking at humanity. We have Saturn now that's in Aquarius. The 11th house is ruled by Saturn in Aquarius, or it's ruled by Aquarius, which is, you know, humanitarianism. It is forward thinking, it's rebellion, it's revolutionary type actions as far as bettering humanity at large. So how can you direct your life purpose towards being in service, doing it in practical ways, having routines in which you do that, but having, you know, coming out of this hermit mode, gaining perspective, going within to learn certain things, emerging as this butterfly, so you can see the perspective that we all share. The one thing that we have in common is that we're all connected. It's all common ground. We're all in this together. Okay, so let's see what the tarot has to say. What's the soul search message? We're going to look at the past, present, and the future. If I can shuffle. Past, present, and future. What's the message? So, in the past, we have the Nine of Swords, the Hangman, and the Emperor. So yeah, this does feel very much like Virgo energy to me, being having lots of anxiety, being riddled with worry and thoughts just that kind of just stab you over and over and over, keeping you up at night, experiencing insomnia, inducing anxiety and fears, being just overthinking to some degree. I do feel like, and then we see the blue here as well. Okay, I feel like in the past, many of us have gone through some type of, again, some type of dark night of the soul, where you're addressing your shadows, and really just it being something that kind of just plagues the mind over and over, trying to just reeling through the mind, trying to figure out how maybe you found yourself in certain situations with certain people, dealing with heartbreak and some type of betrayal, just examining your life, or up to this point, or the past year, the past few months, and the events that may have taken place, and just really going deep and dark, trying to address that. And it's just, it was painful for many. Okay, gaining a new perspective, suspending yourself, taking a time out, again, going through the hermit mode, going through the reclusive withdrawal, and going within and seeking guidance from the divine, from source, from God, whatever you identify with, and trying to gain some type of new perspective, to be enlightened, but taking that time out to do that. And again, perspective. And we have the Emperor. So for many of you, or for myself, for us, I'd like to include myself in collective readings, because I'm part of the collective. We are all one. It's like it says, none of this matters, zoom out, common ground. We all have one common ground. We're all in this together. Okay, there's no separation from source. So I include myself in collective readings. So many of us may have dealt with issues, from childhood. This could represent like a father figure, or even a mother figure, but this could represent like a father figure, someone in authority. This could represent issues with narcissism and codependency, not being the authority of your own life. This is I am. This is Aries energy. So Aries represents I am, and anything that you put behind I am is what you become. So I am what? I am still that inner child, that wounded inner child. I am voiceless. What are you? So I feel like the collective has gone through a process of trying to gain a new perspective on who we are as it relates to the bigger picture. Okay? Finding authority and getting authority over one's own life. Being the authority in your life. Being able to stand in your truth. To lead in your life in a way that is authentic to yourself. And how you're going to be able to not only lead your own life, but to lead others into that same path. Let's look at the present. So, we have the Prince of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the World. The Prince of Cups. So, I feel like this is, many of us, as far as the collective goes, is, this is action. All the knights, because the Prince of Cups is the Knight of Cups, okay, in traditional tarot. So all the knights are action oriented, okay? They take action. I feel like this is the collective taking action and moving towards things that they love, where they can take their love, because the cups represent emotions. Where can I take my emotions? Where can I take my emotions and bring fulfillment to someone else? Am I going to keep this to myself, or I'm going to share it with humanity with this 11th house? How can I be of service to others with Virgo? What is my life purpose? What is my mission as it relates to being of service to humanity, and how I can help fill someone else's emotional cup? What actions can I take? And I do feel like, for many of us, that's where some of this worry comes from, this anxiety, these stabbing thoughts that kind of loop and run through one's mind as you're going through those dark night of the souls, those periods of darkness where you're trying to find the light. It's because at some point we allowed external things to be the authority over us, other people and externals to have the authority over us, to tell us who we are, what we ought to be doing, where you ought to be heading. All these societal rules that have authority over our way of thinking, our way of being, instead of figuring that out and having that authority over ourselves. So now you're emerging out of this dark night of the soul as a butterfly with all the lessons that you've learned spiritually here, having gained a new perspective and having a better idea of how you emotionally fulfill yourself and how to present your cup and take action in fulfilling others, being a leader, an example of authority over one's own life. We have the Seven of Wands here in the present as well. I feel like this is standing your guard, being defensive, having your boundaries up, regardless of what society says you ought to be doing, what other people, external people are saying you ought to be doing, who you are. This is you knowing who I am and standing your guard, being defensive, ready to put up the fight, and knowing that you being in your I am, again, sets the authority over your own life, and it gives other people the permission to do the same. It gives them the courage to stand up for themselves as well. Giving other people, a new perspective on how that they can lead their own lives. That there's no cookie cutter way of doing this thing. When it comes to humanity at large, that's what, humanity is everybody, right? And there's not two people who are exactly the same. So, standing your guard, and ready to put up the fight and defend what you know to be right as far as your place in humanity and how your example to others is a valid example in humanity. We have the World card, so this is a graduation. You've come out of this dark night of the soul. You've come out of this transformational period. It's period of stagnation, of having to get a new perspective, coming out of, you know, the anxiety and fear, and not really having that authority over your own life, and having graduated. And it's something to celebrate. It's a new cycle to begin here. So let's look at the future. What do we have for the immediate future? What do we have for the immediate future? It's too many, Spirit. Thank you. So we have the Four of Swords. So yeah, for some, this is still taking the time out to contemplate, to rest and rejuvenate after this period of, hold on guys. All right guys, sorry about that. So yeah, I do feel like for many of us, there will be, you know, continued time out to self-care, to self-reflect, to meditate, and even contemplate on, you know, what your role is going to be, how you're going to be of service, what actions you're going to take as far as presenting your cup and helping people, you know, with filling their emotional cups, and where you're going to head to fill your emotional cups as well. So there will continue to be finding that stability after coming out of this, you know, rough or tumultuous times, in dealing with your shadows, dealing with any type of heartache, heartbreak, betrayals, or just darkness energy that you're having to shed and purge out of your system. So there will continue to be a rest period for many, and you'll be doing that so you're able to manifest with this Magician card, to manifest how you're going to live out your purpose, how you're going to be in your most authentic self and walk in your I am and be the authority in your life, attracting, you know, the things that are the most beneficial to your life. And so in order for you to present that back out to humanity, standing your guard about the things you want to attract and manifest into your life, having a new perspective on what it is you want to manifest. With the Sun card, it's getting to overall happiness and, you know, bringing the sun and the joy back into your life, to be enlightened and illuminate, and to be the one who is also illuminating the world. Okay, so that's what I have for you, collective. I do hope it resonates. If it does, do consider liking the video and subscribing down below. Hit the bell so you can get notifications for when I upload each Sunday with your soul search message. So thank you, collective, and I'll see you next time. Peace.